Here they are, your Edge of Wonder Zen friends Ben and Rob live from New York.
Oh, it's what?
Wait, are we actually live? We're live.
Live right
Hey,
now.
everybody.
How you doing?
You're probably wondering what Ben's wearing on his head. That is a crazy hat.
It sure is. So, this is from
Rex.
from the Leak Project. He gave us
Yeah.
these hats when we were at Disclosure.
This is
Con.
actually a legit, like,
It actually is.
tinfoil hat.
So
It blocks all kinds of stuff.
there is actually a copper like a foil thing in this hat that supposedly blocks harmful radiation from your cell phone and from the 5G towers and everything else. In this kind of cool Back to the Future kind of style hat.
Yeah.
It's like totally.
I got one at home too, but I haven't brought it. I gotta bring it in.
So I thought I would wear it for a little bit on our show. Even
So
though-
man, you guys.
Actually, before we start, I was wearing it in the subway, just like coming in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Some girl came up to me and was like, "I really like your hat." I was like, "Cool,
New
thanks."
York. I can see how that hat would fit
Yeah.
in this city.
Yeah, it's going to be Anyway,
So actually this week, I'm pretty excited about this live because when we were going over the headlines earlier, I was like, this is ridiculous. There's
some-
like
yeah.
crazy stuff, there's funny stuff, and actually we're gonna start off by talking about the Joker movie because Ben and I went to see it last night together and it was
did.
crazy.
And
But wait,
there's a
before
lot
we get
to
into
talk
it, yeah,
about
before
on
we get
that.
into it, we're just gonna share a few things that we're gonna be going over today. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about General Flynn a bit. We're gonna be talking about Trump pulling troops out of Syria. That like a lot dropped this week on that. We're gonna be talking about the,
Obama,
Yes.
Robert De Niro,
and
stuff on that.
and also the Spygate probe going from an internal kind of like probe to an actual criminal investigation.
Yes.
Right? There's a bunch of weird occult
Yeah.
stuff, Chrissy Teigen stuff. I mean,
Yeah, John
there's-
Clapper on CNN we're going to be talking
Yeah.
about. Scientology, some stuff going on with all of that. Related to some Epstein things, if you guys haven't heard about it yet.
And, Sleepy Joe Biden, a little bit of that. We
yeah,
won't tell
yeah.
everyone, but it's pretty funny stuff.
That is.
Man, so much.
Yeah, there's
we've
a
got
lot
some
today.
Q-proofs. We've got more on the censorship saga that's been going on.
Some transgender stuff, issues that came up. We're going to be talking about that.
Nazi tattoos.
I still don't. I don't even know what to say about that.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
I know, that was a weird one. But fun.
So yeah. So again, Rex gave us this tinfoilcap.co is where
Right.
these things this hat came from, but it's from the Leak Project. Who, by the way, we want to do a collaboration with Rex. Man, we've just been so busy. And Red Pill 78 got a hold of us too. He was on our last live that we had, and he also wanted to collaborate with us along with Marfugel News. So there's a lot of people that we're trying to collab with right now. It's just, man, we're so crazy busy. Everyone's crazy
impossible.
busy right now. So it's just been kind of hard to team up with everybody. But we're working on all of these things and everything else. This documentary series that we're working on has kind of been a massive undertaking that we weren't quite expecting
I know, right?
to be as intense as it is. So that's basically what we've been working on nonstop right now. So anyway, so Red Pill 78, he's pretty cool. Some of the stuff he talks about, and I've
Yeah,
watched
it's
some
funny
of his
because I
videos,
started
so.
seeing these thumbnails go up that look kind of like ours.
Yeah,
and
I was like,
what's going on? And then I found out it was this guy, but he's like, hey, you wanted to kind of work with us.
Yeah,
so that was funny.
yeah. He seems pretty cool guy. So, so there's some good people out there. So we're trying to do all these collaborations. And Alan Steinfeld is another one that over the weekend connected with him. He knows everybody who is anybody in this entire community. So it's pretty interesting.
But let's get into the Joker movie.
Let's
because
get
a
into
lot
the
of
Joker
you guys
movie.
are probably wondering. At first we weren't sure what to think, whether it would be legit or not. But we had multiple discussions about this, and we decided to kind of.
Well, because I even protested it on
Right.
Twitter and social media. I was like, I'm not going to go see this. And then, our last live, I talked to some people, and they really, especially a friend of mine, was really trying to convince me to go see it. So Rob and I decided to go see it last night. And
So, yeah, and
we're
Sonia-
not going to give any spoils away.
No, I mean, there's not really much we can spoil.
True.
Joker. Go see it. I mean, basically, you just go see it, and you can see the process of this dude becoming the Joker,
Yeah.
basically.
But-
so that's the spoiler, really.
Honestly, it was an incredible movie.
The movie was amazing. Like a
really
lot of
was.
things. Like, so a couple of things that are like low-hanging fruit to talk about is that every clock in the movie was set to 11:11, which means that the director, was his name Phillips?
Todd
Phillips.
which we'll kind of go into in a second.
I mean, he must know. Like, he must have some connection or watch some of this content to understand if he said. I mean, literally every clock in the movie.
Yeah.
There was probably like three, maybe two
yeah,
or three.
yeah. Towards like this is the second half of the movie. I was trying to pay attention to the clocks, but I
yeah,
couldn't.
but
really
I was
see
too,
it
yeah,
for
I was too into the movie to
year
see
two
a lot
by
of that
that
stuff.
point. Yeah, and the movie kind of reminds me of Taxi Driver. I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of like a
It was like a hat tip to Taxi Driver,
yeah,
and Robert De Niro was even
happened
in the
to be
movie.
it, which we'll get into that in a second as well. Yeah, what was some of the stuff that stood out to you, like why we thought this movie was
Okay,
so good?
what I really liked about it, because at first I didn't like this, because you and I both grew up reading comics. I was a hardcore comic guy when I was young, right? Like that's why I started drawing and became an artist and everything. Was like comic books were like behind a lot of that. I did not think this Joker, in terms of the comic books, was as convincing of a Joker as Heath Ledger's Joker. Like Heath Ledger's Joker is still the best Joker of all time in terms of balancing real life with like.
He's definitely the most insane Joker.
Like totally. Now, the thing that I really liked about this Joker, though, after I kept thinking about it, is this is actually real. Like this is, to me, this is actually how a real life Joker would come about. It's not a special guy. He's a guy bad on his luck, has mental illness, goes more and more insane as bad things keep happening to him as the story unfolds. And then voila, you have a knucklehead guy with a lot more knuckleheads supporting him for some reason, because they think he's some kind of symbol, And so there was a lot of stuff in there that was very interesting and very closely tied to, I think, a lot of how things are playing out right now. And it's worth a watch, I think.
It really is.
And Joaquin Phoenix's performance was like
actually pretty good.
literally bulletproof.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
great. It was a good performance. I don't know much about him, but he did a really good job on this.
The great thing about this movie, if you are, I'm just going to kind of throw out the words left and right here, even though I don't like using this kind of left and right terminology. But if you're on the right, you're going to look at this movie and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, so whoever made this movie was like, this is for the awoken people and like the red-pilled people. If you're on the left, you're going to see this movie in a whole different way, actually.
Yeah.
It's because like my brother and I, we have...
On the left, you're looking at it, and it's the story of Antifa.
It really is, and that's why it's
weird.
It really is. In like the protests, we don't want to give too much away, but
Look at the signs. If you go to see the movie, look at the signs of what the people are holding up at the protests. Yeah. Like, pay attention really closely to the things that he's saying.
It's basically the story, from my perspective, it was a story of how Antifa basically got started, And then there's an ending part, I don't want to give it away, but he basically, Joker is saying this monologue at the end, and he's kind of pointing fingers at the people, saying, you're the one who really wants the violence, because this is what I mean, kind of in a nutshell, in my own words.
You decide what's funny, you decide what's...
Yeah, so it's like the mainstream media, and it was a kind of this thing, I saw it as like a whole thing against the mainstream media, like, oh, we need to have more violence because this is what people want. And so they're focusing on the violence, in our society. And it was I just saw it as a huge satire to our entire society and on everything that is going on.
But then when you zoom out, what's really weird about this movie is how this movie is a movie in Hollywood, but it actually melds in with what's going on today. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching it and you know what's going on right now with the different characters and bad actors in our society, and you see who's acting in the movie and what roles they're playing in the movie, and then you start thinking about it, that's when things start to get really interesting.
It's really weird. Yeah, in the very beginning, too, The very, very beginning, Joker's like, or not Joker, but he's not Joker yet, right? But
Arthur.
He's talking to a social worker.
Right.
But if you know, and this is not really giving anything away. If you look in the background,
It has a picture blurred out. It says drugs
and then depression next to it. And the whole concept is that this medication that he's on, and they're like over drugging him,
Like
almost
7
on
different
purpose.
medications.
And so I kind of saw it as also against like pharmaceutical companies too, because it's really telling the story of why mental illness is a problem. And one of the things that really points out in this movie is that you have a mental illness, but why aren't you acting normal? It's like you should be acting normal anyway, you know? And
Yeah.
no one's like understanding what this person is going through with this mental illness. And it's like, you're so weird. And it's like, well, I have a mental illness. And it's like, well,
Yeah, so
you know?
his particular mental illness in the movie is when anything crazy starts happening in his life, he starts laughing hysterically, psychotically, right? And so you can imagine being around someone on the subway doing that. I mean, you'd move away, right? Like that's
Which we see quite often in New York, so it's pretty common.
a lot more than that in New York, we'll tell you. Yeah, but yeah, so you know, that's not. It's not. We're not saying anything good or bad against anyone here. It's just reality of the situation. But I mean, to make a long story short,
It's disturbing.
yes. And okay, why don't you read or tell us a little bit about what you found
yeah.
about the director and what he said, because that was really interesting.
This is really fascinating. So, you know, after this movie, I really wanted to do some research on the director, Todd Phillips. I wasn't really that familiar with him. I didn't realize that he is a comedic director.
Yeah,
and
The
writer.
Hangover, right?
He did The Hangover. He did Starsky and was it Starchy?
Starsky and Hutch. Yeah.
I think maybe The Wedding Planner. Maybe.
Oh,
thrown in
really?
there. Maybe not The Wedding Planner. I'm sorry, The Wedding Crashers.
Oh, The Wedding Crashers,
Yeah,
yeah.
and a couple other, all comedies anyway. So it's like, how did this dude who went from all comedies make this kind of like very serious, dark kind of movie? But
Right.
there's a lot of humor in this that's very interesting. I think coming from this kind of comedy writer. But it's really fascinating. There was this article that came out. Actually, he spoke with.
It was an IndieWire.
What was that? Was
article,
the
right?
article that came out? But he spoke with. Shoot, I can't think of the name. One of the major medias that he spoke with. Anyway,
Vice or Verge?
Vogue or I don't know. It will come in here in a second. I kind of forget. But anyway, the headline of this article is Todd Phillips left comedy to make Joker because woke culture ruined the genre. Now, I didn't even understand this. When I hear the word woke, you know, we're thinking of
Thinking of
red pill,
our disclosure community.
our
right?
community.
But no,
It's not. So woke,
it's a very left term, actually.
It is. So woke culture is specifically a subculture from America that focuses on social justice related issues, anarchist, leftist issues such as like microaggressions, and like high poverty type people like blacks, Native Americans it goes into. So coming with that, so Todd Phillips was interviewed, and basically what he said was that he said he found it increasingly difficult to make comedies in the new woke Hollywood because this brand of irrelevant bro humor has lost its favor. So this is a direct quote from him. Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture. There were articles written about why comedians.
Why comedies don't work anymore.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because all the effing funny guys are like, F this, because I don't want to offend you. It's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you can read.
Yeah,
the next
you can
one.
you just can't do it right. So you just go, I'm out. And you know what? With all my comedies, I think that what comedies in general all have in common is they're irreverent. So I go, how do I do something irreverent but F comedy? Oh, I know. Let's take the comic book movie universe and turn it on its head with this. And so that's really where that came from.
So yeah, so
Wow.
this was in Vanity Fair. That was so realistically they interviewed Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah.
for most of it, and then Todd Phillips had this quote. This doesn't sound like much, but I really kind of took this as You know, the whole left side, it's like they're putting themselves in a box, and these comedians know now, like, you know, this whole culture and everything, what used to be funny, now everybody is offended by everything, and so they're like, why even
and if
struggle with
you
making
don't think
comedies?
so, watch like what Tropic Thunder was 2008 or something like that, or maybe 2009.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Go
That's
watch
right.
it. Like that would never happen now. And I personally, I think there's a problem with that. I think, you know, it is fun to celebrate our differences and make fun of these things. And
People are taking this to the extreme,
Yeah.
and I kind of really, this is what kind of triggers me, as he's very much aware of what's going on the left, and that's why I view Joker more as like kind of like the true woke community in Hollywood. They're like, let's make a movie that people in the true woke community of, like, you know, our community, that we understand things, and more of the awakened community will pick up. But again, it's like very slightly, and like I said, if you go into this, whatever mindset that you have, you will view it in that mindset. And that's why I think everyone loves the Joker. They did an awesome job.
It was
at
a
this.
great movie.
They did such a good job of being like, if you're on the left, you're gonna like it. If you're on the right, you're gonna like it.
But
it's
still,
very
at the end of the
subtle.
day, this guy Todd Phillips, I'm going to be following his work from now on.
Yeah, I think so too.
You don't put 11:11 on all the clocks and not know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There was a message there.
Carefully balanced what he did there.
There's a message.
But at the end of the day, if you look at who that movie is pointing out as the problem, we all have something to learn from that. So go check it out.
Yeah, I would.
But speaking of Robert De Niro.
Yes, let's get to Robert De Niro.
So Robert De Niro.
I really want to talk about the ending, but we can't.
That's
We
all right.
can't. We can't.
Go see it, and then
Just
next
go
week
see
we'll
it.
talk about it. But yeah, so Robert De Niro was one of the main characters in the Joker movie.
And by the way, I mean, he was the main character in Taxi Driver, which is kind of interesting.
And he
So-
plays this like Johnny Carson character in, or like David Letterman character in the movie. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, just recently, Barack Obama and Robert De Niro, and even what's his name?
The dude, anyway.
The Apple CEO, Tim Cook. Thank
Tim
you.
Cook,
They all
yeah.
met in New York
Yeah,
for
at a
dinner.
restaurant in New York in Tribeca area.
So at first we were just kind of confused about this, but let me read these. So this was a dailymail.co article, all right? And the headline is Barack Obama meets Robert De Niro, dinner in Manhattan, okay? Something like that. Okay, so now pull this up, please, Derek, if you can. The bullet points at the top, that's what I like about the Daily Mail, is they always have these bullet points, and it kind of gives you an overview of everything going on real quick. So former President Barack Obama pictured arriving at Manhattan Hotel on Monday. He later met Hollywood actor Robert De Niro and tech chief Tim Cook for dinner. The trio spent several hours eating together at Yves's restaurant in Tribeca. Democrat De Niro has been a vocal critic of Trump's presidency.
As we all know.
Very vocal.
Yeah.
Very vocal. The Obamas last year signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. Netflix is trying to hold on to its vast customer base as cheaper alternatives from the likes of Apple, Disney, and others who go live next month. Now, as we kept thinking about this, Ben looked at me and he was like, you know what I think? Tell him what you think.
Well,
this is really interesting.
Because before we get into that, so Michelle Obama, if you want to say Michelle, she formed a deal with Netflix for her production company, which is called Higher Ground, I think it was $90 million deal with Netflix. Specifically, they're going to write content that is about the impeachment of President Trump. So, I started thinking about this, and I'm like, oh wait, Tim Cook, Robert De Niro, and Obama are all meeting for dinner?
Oh, and wait, Apple TV is just going live.
Exactly. So I think that Tim Cook probably brought them on to hear what they think. I think they're going to have Robert De Niro start doing some kind of TV show.
Oh, for
on
sure. If
Apple
those three
TV,
are meeting, that is going to be a show probably about this
completely
on
against
Apple.
Trump. Yeah, that's.
And they don't
what
need
I
Tim
think.
Cook, so if Tim Cook doesn't want to do it, Obama and De Niro can go to Netflix, I'm sure. Because
Exactly.
the Obama administration is like a part of Netflix
Well,
now,
and it's
basically.
interesting now what's going on with Tim Cook and the Trump administration, because they're slowly kind of working with you know, I mean, granted, they're only making one Mac computer here now, but they did move at least that one computer to the U.S. So they're slow. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens. But then
That was nothing, by the way.
that was
doing
really
that.
I
Did
mean,
nothing.
dude. China's. I mean,
At least
Apple's-
Tim Cook was man enough to meet with Trump.
yeah, that is
At
true.
least. I
yeah.
mean,
See Obama doing that.
Yeah, really.
But anyway.
Well-
So we'll see what happens with all that. So that's kind of what I think, and we'll see what happens. But
So, in other news, this is just interesting. The Nike CEO and the Under Armour CEO, both within this like last period of time, like maybe week or so, both decided to step down from their respective businesses. So Nike and Under Armour. The Under Armour, I don't know why Nike CEO was stepping
Actually,
down. Did you look into this?
I didn't. But I already know some things about the Nike CEO that happened last year.
Okay, are we gonna get sued if you say it?
No,
I'm just
no,
kidding.
no. Because I mean, there was basically some things that came out related with him to what's going on with, not like Nexium, but kind of the pizza fence stuff. There was like a photo that came out of some things that he had in his office.
Right.
So.
Oh, right. And well, I mean, and they've been supporting, you know, everybody, you know, like bending their knee during the
Yeah.
Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
So I just.
Kaepernick and whatever.
I kind of was already assuming it's just a matter of time before he steps down. You know.
True.
So
It is weird that two of those CEOs decided to step down in a week.
The
and
same week.
The Under Armour one seemed like it
I don't
had
know
more to do
anything
with
about
business.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see what happens. Okay, so a couple of memes that really had us laughing this week. Hey,
These
Derek,
memes
can
are
you
so
pull these
funny.
up for me?
These
Yeah,
memes are
Derek just needs a
hilarious.
second.
Yeah.
So, yes, and then we're going to go on to Todos con Biden.
Yeah.
Let me know when you've got that up there, Derek.
Oh, by the way, I saw Becky Lou. It was her birthday, so
Oh,
happy
yeah.
birthday, Becky Lou.
Yeah, actually, and also,
Randy-
it's Randy's
child.
and his name is, what is it again?
It's actually Tesla.
It's Tesla, that's right.
It's a
That's
6-year-old.
awesome.
A six-year birthday is this week, so she wanted
Tesla,
us to
happy
say-
birthday,
yeah,
man.
So happy birthday, Tesla.
You got it up, Derek? All right, so I want you to read this right here. How to eat candy corn. 1, open bag.
Wait, what hasn't came up yet?
Yeah, no, it's up.
It's
right?
up. It's up. Okay.
1,
Sorry.
open bag. 2, pour candy corn into trash can. 3, Epstein didn't kill himself. Okay, show the other one. Can you show the other one? This one had me going.
Yeah, no. The second one, Rob's
Okay.
like, dude, you got to read this.
So
I
the
was like,
second
"All right."
one, and I was like watching Ben's expression as he read this is the best
like, what
because
is
he was
this?
so reading it, and then he just started dying laughing.
Yeah.
But it was. So the 4 ghosts in Pac-Man are all programmed to act differently. Red chases you, pink tries to position itself in a set way, blue tries to ambush you, orange is random, and Epstein didn't kill himself. So
pretty funny.
actually, what's funny about these memes is they're memes, but they're also like truth or infographics. How do you tell the truth to your friends? And you know, through these memes, like we were dying laughing
pretty
while reading
funny.
these.
It's
So
pretty
funny.
And there's more of them out there that I saw, so that's funny.
Yeah.
Is that Illuminati pyramid? No, it's a candy corn.
It's a candy corn. At least in this case, it's not an Illuminati. What the heck? No, I mean, of course, right? Everything we look at now,
Yeah.
you see these pyramids everywhere,
Yeah.
right? It's totally legit to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next,
Biden.
let's talk about Todos con Biden. Okay, so this guy named Lazarus posted this tweet. Can you pull that up for us?
This is like the
You got it up?
funniest. You can just talk, Derek. You
Yeah,
can't. No one
just
can
tell
hear
us. So his tweet is today # Joe Biden announced his 2020 campaign outreach program for Latinos. Todos con Biden. One problem. He didn't reserve the website yet, so guess who bought the website and the Twitter handle? And then ha 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 MAGA Trump 2020. Look, todosconbiden.com. Oops, Joe se olvido de los Latinos. Oops, Joe forgot about Latinos. Joe is all talk. Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President Inc. That image right there, can you show that?
Well,
No, the image of the website on mobile.
Yeah, it's up. This is delayed.
Okay, cool. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
So there was a really funny comment from this Republican political consultant, and he's a very critical person of President Donald Trump. His name is Mike Madrid. but he told ABC News, "How the hell are you Joe Biden's campaign and you don't lock the URL before you announce stuff?"
No, really, like, wait, and the best part about this, though, is this is not the first time
Dude,
that's happened.
This has happened twice. This is the third
Like-
time. This is the third time. So the first one was Joe addressed his like new site a while ago called Joe 30330. I don't even know what the heck it means. So they announced this. So Joe30330.com, and some dude named Josh bought the website and redirected it to Josh for America.
Well, and these websites, like, I think, like, you can just imagine them all in a room seeing that he hasn't bought this website.
Can you imagine in Trump's campaign people being like, "Oh my gosh, this is available, let's buy it."
Go to GoDaddy, quick. It's only
I
$9.99.
can't even comprehend that.
And then, not only that, but on top of that, the entire administration being totally in support of you
doing
just
this.
buying that. And
Yeah. So the other
So
one
funny, man.
is we talked about it a while ago. You guys probably remember is JoeBiden.info.
yeah.
So and it still comes up as number 2 on Google search when you type in Joe Biden. The second thing is
Right.
JoeBiden.info. So it's just
I almost want to make like Todos con Biden shirts now with like todosconbiden.com. People go there.
I mean, they can still buy it, but now it's probably like $1 million. It's like I can see Trump being like, "Yeah, Joe, we'll sell it to
think
you."
about it. You don't have to give it up. You
No,
don't have
you
to
don't
give
have
up a website,
No.
right? So if you own the website, you can
own it,
offer me
it's
a lot of
yours.
money.
Yeah.
But I can hang on to it. So
Yeah, no one. Yeah, I mean that's what they did with Star Wars and New York Times. So that's why New York Times originally was NYT.com because
Right.
someone bought NewYorkTimes.com.
just because they
Yeah.
knew it was like an investment, right? It's like a website, like a real estate investment, actually.
Yeah, I mean now New York Times owns it. Now they have both, but at the time, in StarWars.com, someone bought StarWars.com.
Really?
Yeah.
That is great. Well, that's
Yeah.
not surprising.
Yeah.
Like as soon as URLs went on sale.
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
know
web,
when that
right?
was. It was like 90s, early 90s or
Right.
something. As soon as it hit, yeah, someone bought it. So
Yeah, why not?
they made $1 million off that. But anyway.
What'd you say there, Derek?
Derek, you can talk out loud, man.
Okay, yeah, next topic.
Derek's talking to us, but he's like, I can't see him because there's a screen here, so all I see are these hands kind of like flaring in here. So I don't know what he's doing.
Okay. So, all right, Trump told White House to cancel subscriptions to New York Times and Washington Post. So, I believe it's the Epoch Times that reported this article. So, the White House to tell federal agencies to stop subscribing to New York Times and Washington Post. So I'm going to quote from the Epoch Times article here. The White House is planning to tell federal agencies to not renew subscriptions to the New York Times and Washington Post. Quote, not renewing subscriptions across all federal agencies will be a significant cost saving for taxpayers, hundreds of thousands of dollars, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said in a statement to news outlets on Thursday. The battle between President Donald Trump and the two major news outlets took a turn on Monday when the president signaled the White House that it would stop subscribing to them. And, he's just been calling them out as fake news because they are, and now they're going to have to pay for it, actually. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I thought they already canceled it.
Surprised that they wouldn't, but, those were federal, those were the
Yeah.
two of the two top dogs in media who are becoming less and less relevant, and less people are subscribing to them because they're
I'm
lying.
sorry, they said federal agencies.
Yeah.
So the White House
No,
already stopped
all
a
of
long
them.
time ago.
No.
Yeah, the White House
he
too.
is saying White House too.
Well, I thought
Like-
I thought they did, but all federal agencies. Wow, that's.
But he's basically telling all federal agencies, and I think the White House as well.
That's yeah.
I could be wrong.
No,
but I think that's what it is.
You're absolutely right. It's all federal agencies. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Okay, well, let's get into some of the juice here.
The juice.
We got to talk about General Flynn in a second, but before we do that, I'm thinking
Is there a
we
reason
might.
why you're holding your nose?
Yeah, it's itchy. We might. Why don't we do the? Do you want to do one of these promos, Derek?
Yeah, you want to give us a little set for the Halloween celebrity one?
Yeah, go for
What
it.
are we doing? Oh yeah, the Halloween
Yeah, this
celebrity.
is
one.
gonna be
This is going
on,
on edgeofwonder.tv.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't subscribed, good opportunity too. We got some good stuff on there now, and more good stuff coming.
Oh man, some
soon.
crazy stuff. Lots
Yeah.
of Pizza Fence stuff. This celebrity deaths one is going to be crazy. So why don't we show you the promo right now and let us know what you think.
We investigate mysterious celebrity deaths. How did they die? Did they pass away naturally, or was it because they knew something important and had to be silenced? What were the circumstances, and what were they up to just before their tragic end? And maybe there were clues left behind that could lead us to something much bigger than a simple celebrity death. This Halloween, as we present the facts, evidence, background, and connections, you get to decide for yourself what really happened to these famous people when they died. Join us on edgeofwonder.tv for a special spooky Halloween episode, Celebrity Deaths, on edgeofwonder.tv.
Yeah, you guys, that episode was a crazy one to write.
It was.
So you're going to have fun watching that one and finding out about all of these stars and some of the details behind them. And oh my gosh, Corinne Roman, thank you so much for that donation. Thank you very
and
much.
Elder
Really
Dragon,
appreciate it.
thanks so much too.
Yeah, thank you, Elder Dragon.
That's awesome. Good seeing you again.
Okay.
So,
All right, so now back up to Flynn.
Flynn, yep.
Man, all right, so those of you who've been following all of this going on with Q since Q started publishing, General Flynn has been, even since the Trump administration has gotten in there, General Flynn has been the subject of a lot of discussion because, you know, he was kind of like it seems like he was set up, and they've been trying to prove it for a while. Well, this week, there was a lot of movement on that. So Sidney Powell, which is basically like his rock star lawyer, right?
Yeah, the rock star lawyer that he has. Yeah,
He drops this bombshell showing how the FBI trapped Michael Flynn. So this was a Federalist.com article, and I'm going to read a quote from this article. It's, quote, "What is most striking, though, is the timeline Powell pieced together from publicly reported text messages withheld from the defense team and excerpts from documents still sealed from public view. The sequence Powell lays out shows that a team of, quote, high-ranking FBI officials orchestrated an ambush interview of the new president's national security advisor, not for the purpose of discovering any new evidence of criminal activity. They already had tapes of all the relevant conversations about which they had questioned Mr. Flynn, but for the purpose of trapping him into making statements that they could allege as false," unquote. Man. Now, if that wasn't enough, Clapper, the old national security guy, he actually used the word kill shot to describe this entire thing and describe them going after Flynn. So this is a Fox News article, right?
Yep.
And the name of the article is FBI agents manipulated Flynn file as Clapper urged kill shot court filing. And you want to read this quote from that article?
Yeah. So it says, Powell also referenced a purported conversation between former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper and Washington Post reporter David Ignatius, claiming Clapper told the reporter, quote, words to the effect of "take the kill shot on Flynn," after he reportedly obtained the transcripts of Flynn's phone call. Oh, his multiple calls, not just one call. So this is a spokesman for Clapper through Fox News told that he, quote, absolutely did not say those words to David Ignatius. Now, this is, I want to skip down here.
Go ahead.
So he was on John
Clapper.
John Clapper.
Was on the Anderson Cooper, right, on CNN.
Yes. I'm sorry, James Clapper. I said John. He goes sometimes by John and sometimes by James. James is his official name. So basically, right before he came on CNN, so if you don't know who James Clapper is, he was the former
National Security Advisor.
Director under Obama. So basically, everything that's kind of going on with the spy.
Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper.
Yeah, the NSA.
Right.
So, in a nutshell, you can kind of say if Spygate is true, this guy was the one who authorized it through Obama.
Right.
If it's true,
Right.
You know, I mean, seems like it is. But the weird thing is, so Clapper is now the focus of the DOJ investigation. And Clapper just learned of this 20 minutes before his interview on CNN.
Right.
With Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
And he's like super nervous.
Antsy.
You can just kind of tell he's antsy. And so he was saying he just figured this out and he was very curious. So he was asked whether he had any idea that Durham's team may think rises to the okay, basically they're saying, do they under Clapper should there be a criminal offense? And Clapper said he had no clue. That's obviously an item of great interest to me. What is it that any of us did that would rise to the level of criminal infraction? I just don't know.
Yeah.
So he's just like,
well, and Clapper was basically on the whole CNN thing. He was like, well, why are we being investigated when we're just doing what the president of the time told us, right? And then everyone, like, at the time we had this on one of our headlines. We were just all like, whoa.
what the heck? Yeah.
Because, like, that's basically just saying he's throwing President Obama under the bus.
He
right?
is, yeah. And basically in this whole interview with CNN, he's just like, he just keeps saying like, well, I don't know. You know, I don't know what's going on. We're just doing our job.
Yeah, the only better display of not knowing anything was like Mueller in front of Congress.
Well, and what
can you repeat the question?
Yeah, really. But what he was hinting at was like, well, I'm sure this has to do with the Russia investigation, and you know they're trying to distract from the Russia thing, and you know he knows. I mean, they all know.
Bro, this isn't a distraction.
Yeah.
This is just the truth.
Well, and then basically in a nutshell, what's really going on is that he knows that if the Russia collusion is not true and all of these people were a part of this Spygate, then that is treason. And they know that for a fact. So what can they do? Go after the guy who knows everything, which is Flynn, who was working with Obama during Obama's presidency.
Right.
So it's like Flynn pretty much knows everything. They want to go after, I mean, this is my interpretation of it. They want to go after Flynn. They take Flynn down. Then it's like, they may not have as much to worry about, but now it really seems like everyone's going after these guys, and this is the battle that's taking place right now. So it's just a matter of time now. Do you want to add anything to that?
Nope. Time to move on.
Time to move on.
So this is actually really interesting because we were just talking about the Russia collusion stuff, right? And he's trying to like put it off on that. But actually, the Russia collusion goes from internal review to criminal investigation. So this is actually huge news, right? We have another article from the Epoch Times here. Derek, if you wouldn't mind pulling that up for us. The article is called "Justice Department Spygate Review Turns into Criminal Investigation Reports." So this was by Ivan Penchikov, and I'm going to read a quote from this. The Justice Department's internal review of spying on the Trump campaign has evolved into a criminal investigation, according to anonymous sources who spoke to the Associated Press and the New York Times. So the New York Times was the first one to put this news out, unfortunately. Attorney General William Barr assigned U.S. Attorney John Durham on May 13th to review the origins of the Obama administration counterintelligence investigation of the Trump campaign. The designation as a formal criminal investigation gives Durham's team the ability to issue subpoenas, impanel a grand jury, compel witnesses to give testimony, and bring federal criminal charges. Boom. That's very important. So this no longer is just like us dilly-dallying around and looking at something and seeing if there was an issue. This is now criminal. This is very real, and people's heads could potentially roll, virtually speaking. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, seriously.
Pretty crazy. So, man, speaking of John Durham, right?
Yeah, John Durham.
Yeah, we want to give a shout out to our homeboy on Twitter, Enoch, who posted this tweet, actually. We tracked it down, and he says, can you pull this tweet up for us there, Derek? It's down a little bit. It says Q-proof, Enoch, yep. So I'm going to read his tweet for you guys. On July 29th, 2019, Q posted a tweet with a video clip stating that John Durham is moving to criminal proceedings. Do you believe in coincidence? Hashtag QAnon, hashtag Durham, hashtag no coincidence. So this was Q as early as July 20th, 2019, posting that this would happen, what we just said, and now it's happening, and this is 100% a Q-proof. And yeah, again, shout out to Enoch for tracking that down and posting it. You make our lives easier for posting stuff like this when you just put it all out there like that.
True.
So thanks for all the work you're doing out there.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking me or asking us about 8chan when it's going up, and you know, again, it's like right now
8kun, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, 8chan, but
Right.
now it's going to be 8kun. You know, all the boards are being migrated. They're probably in the testing phase of stuff, and so everyone's
And we have
just kinda
we have a
waiting.
little bit of intel on. Did we want to give that, or should we not?
Corey set it out, yeah, publicly. So
Okay.
I think it's fine. I mean, this is according to Corey Good, which he said he has not really received a briefing in like
In a long time.
like months,
Yeah.
because
This is actually,
Yeah.
that is actually why, one of
Yeah.
the reasons why I trust Corey so much is like, he's just straight. He'll just tell you when, he's like, dude, I'm not receiving any briefings right now. I don't know, like I don't, and he can speculate with you, but he doesn't actually know, so.
yeah, I mean, and he said that. So this was on his, I think the last video they published on Sphere Being Alliance. They're doing this now roundtable thing. But anyway, but basically what he was saying is that from his sources that he heard, the Q team has been compromised. The deep, what are we saying now?
The deep stank.
The deep stank found out who the Q team was or is, and you know, so it's putting them a little bit in danger, but he thinks that it's not going to stop them from coming out and posting and
No way.
doing everything else now.
No way. They're just revising everything and figuring out how to. I mean, and you have to understand. Like, I can imagine that team, you know, taking security very seriously, but being like, hey, it's only a matter of time before something happens.
Yeah,
and then
I
they
mean-
have protocols for that. You know?
I mean, seriously, they've been at it for almost. Well, now it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years
almost
to the
exactly,
date.
yeah, that's right.
That is weird. Yeah, it was like the first post
Yeah,
was like
the
October
fact-
27th or something.
I mean, it is a 100% complete testament to their awesomeness that it took 2 years for the deep stank to actually sniff them out. Pun intended.
Yeah. So much for the theory of the dude in your basement, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or living in your mom's
Right.
basement or whatever. But yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, 2 years. But yeah, so, but you know, the public doesn't know. So, you know, I think we'll see what happens once 8kun gets up, and yeah, we're all excited about it. So we'll see what's going to happen.
We
So-
have some exciting news for you guys. Apparently, Teespring actually sent us an email and they gave us a promo code until Wednesday of next week. Sunday, sorry. It's actually just Sunday. Oh my gosh.
Just till Sunday?
It's
the
not long.
weekend.
So today until Sunday, there's 10% off all of the merchandise on our stores, and the offer code is in all caps treats, but instead of an E for treats and treats, you use a 3.
Derek will put it in.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So the offer code is treats with a 3 instead of an E.
Yeah.
Okay? All caps.
All caps.
So if you want to buy something from our store, if you were looking for one of these
Wonder
Blue Avian
shirts.
shirts and you wanted to save a little bit of dough, or one of these awesome Lightning Edge of Wonder shirts, or a kindness shirt because that's what we should be promoting, or a socialism shirt because socialism sucks, go to Edge of Wonder presence on Teespring and grab one today. How was that for a marketing pitch there, Ben? Buy now. Yeah, I mean, you know, of course,
Save
like
later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Save
thanks you
now,
guys so much
whatever.
for your support. Yeah, thank you
seriously,
guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so did you hear that? Like, I mean, you've been hearing what's been going on with Twitter, right? Like
yeah.
all the censorship going on. Well,
Censorship
yeah.
escalates.
So Twitter censorship escalates. So The Verge actually published this article, which, you know, some of these media really frustrate me when I read their articles. But anyway, could you pull
Most
this
of
up
them.
for us? Okay, so the name of this article is Twitter says it now removes half of all abusive tweets before users report them. Okay, I'll read the first paragraph and you read the second. How about that?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, quote, Twitter says more than 50% of tweets identified as abusive are now being flagged by its automated moderation tools first and taken down before a user reports them. Improvements in this machine learning model for identifying problematic tweets enabled the faster moderation, Twitter said. Go ahead.
Yeah, cracking down on abusive tweets has been an ongoing goal of Twitter. The company regularly talks about how one of our highest priorities is to improve the health of the public conversation on Twitter. This is what it said in its earnings letter. Ongoing abuse has made Twitter an unpleasant place to be for many long-time and highly active users. So its ability to cut down on bad actors is important to its site's usage and user growth.
Man,
it's so weird they use bad actors.
They use the term bad actors, which is actually, this is how they do things. They always try to use terminology from the other side to point to the other side just to confuse everyone. Like the whole woke conversation we were having earlier is a perfect...
I had no idea that woke culture was referring to
that guy's
Black
woke.
Lives Matters.
So, I mean,
that's so
and
weird.
soon what are they going to do? Take truther away from us now, too? Like, you know, it's...
Red pill.
It's not just, it wasn't just Black Lives Matter, though.
Yeah, it's not Black Lives Matter.
It's
all
actually
of it.
just
And
everything regarding
granted,
the very extremely liberal extreme and Antifa
and
stuff.
we're not
and
trying
everything.
to say anything bad about what's going on in Black Lives Matter. The problem is that it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's not about the police.
Of course, Black Lives Matter.
It's about
It's about how they're getting funded and who's funding them, and if you trace all of that back.
how they're being manipulated and used. They're
Yes.
specifically
And
just being used.
there are tons of folks who are talking about this all over. There's no excuse for us to not know what's going on with that. It's all out there. We have to look into it.
Yeah, and we'll get into this a little bit more when we talk about this transgender stuff that kind of came up too. So
Yes. Okay, one of the hugest headlines this week, or like some of the biggest stories that broke were revolved around the Syria troop removal.
yeah.
Did you guys follow any of this?
Yeah.
Because this was actually really huge. So True Pundit actually did a lot of great work this week with publishing some information about it. I'm going to read a quote from this. High-placed federal law enforcement sources dropped a bombshell claiming the renewed push to impeach the president is rooted in part in President Trump's move to pull the United States out of the conflict in Syria and stop untold millions in dirty cash from flowing into the deep state's pockets. Quote, "This isn't about the Kurds, it's about cash," one FBI source said. And that cash is no chump change. It's millions and millions of dollars flowing into the coffers of crooked politicians and deep state pockets worldwide. Unquote. Boom.
Yes.
Drop the mic.
I mean,
now
this raises so much
Big time.
stuff. It's like, dude, we've been in Syria for I don't even know when.
but the entire impeachment, all of that stuff is revolving around this according to this, right?
I mean,
Number one reason for impeachment.
If this is true, then it also goes along with what's happening in Mexico and the border and all these things. I mean, this is like the deep stank's main source of income, right? All these illegal activities that are going on, and Trump is shutting everything down, so they want to impeach him.
Well, and everyone talks about this, how like war funds like a lot of money, right? Well, if you think about it, well, where are the wars been going on for the longest time? Like, if that's true, well, then the wars have been going on for the longest time in the Middle East, right? So this actually just totally in line with all of that.
It is.
Which is like really, really crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And actually, speaking of the impeachment thing, we should talk about the skiff, shouldn't we? I told you, like, that was really funny.
Go into that.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
All right, so the skiff, you guys, basically there was this meeting that the Republicans held. I think it was this week sometime, where there's so many headlines here. God.
I know, there's a lot of
Okay,
stuff,
so
actually.
Republicans stormed the SCIF, and SCIF stands for Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility.
This is so funny.
So basically, there were a lot of articles that published this week. You guys can look into those yourself. We didn't put a particular one in here because it would have taken us longer than to just get the information out to you. But basically, Adam Schiff and all of these Dems, they hold this meeting. These are actual impeachment proceedings, testimonies being heard by witnesses in a private place, and they're not allowing Republicans.
Closed door private place.
Closed doors.
Like, why?
Like, that's
would
not
you-
fair or honest.
Yeah, like, what do you do? Like, why?
Right, why would you do that? So, the Republicans hold a press conference. They go and they storm the SCIF meeting. They open the doors. The lights are off. They turn on the lights. This is my understanding of the story. Adam Schiff flees with one of the witnesses. Then they proceed. This is the best part. They proceed to order 17 pizzas and have them delivered, and Chick-fil-A. So 17 pizzas.
The Republicans ordered this.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
for
then,
them,
yes,
for them, right?
right,
That's
for lunch at
yeah.
the thing. Like, I mean, if that's not a sign, right? 17, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Pizzas, Pizzagate. Oh, excuse me, I said that. Pizza fence. And like, then you've got Chick-fil-A, which is like the CEO has been very in support of a lot of like,
Well,
he's just been freedom of, like, he's been speaking his mind about issues.
They've been speaking their mind.
Yeah,
definitely.
and they don't like that. You know, the like people on the left don't really like that. So that was just a very, very funny thing that happened this week. Actually, but also very serious and not funny, because why would you be holding impeachment proceedings without going through proper channels? And like, that doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
What are you hiding? Like, that's not above.
Or what are you telling the witnesses is what I want to know.
Well,
like,
right.
What are you doing with them?
So crazy.
So a couple of people were some comments on the hat. So you guys, yeah, this is from Leak Project from Rex. It was actually one of the things he was promoting. It's tinfoilcap.co. So tinfoil cap. Some people are asking about the website. So
that is the most legit tinfoil cap I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously.
Yeah, thanks.
It's pretty.
Rex.
I don't know. I've been testing it and wearing it a little bit, and you can actually wear the underlining and like different things. Just see how it goes.
You mean you just wear the underwear?
Underlining, not the under.
Okay.
Wearing underwear is good though.
Thanks. Well said. Okay, gosh.
So where we are now.
So much more to go over.
Yeah,
so much more.
Should we do some thank you the fan thing? You want to do that?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. So we got a letter this week from a fan. This totally blew us away. We were not expecting this.
So I mean, to kind of give some context here, some people are going to be like, oh, well, this could be like made up or whatever. The thing is that whoever wrote this and whoever is listening who knows who wrote this or is connected to this knows that this is legit, and that's what matters to us.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And just a note, this came into our P.O. box. We went to our P.O. box. The United States Postal Service it's not been easy dealing with them in this P.O. box. They sent a bunch of stuff back to people we weren't expecting. And if somebody sends something express mail to us, they send it back after 5 days. So if we're busy because we're writing scripts and we forgot to go after like 5 days.
So some of you guys sent us stuff.
Yeah,
and
I was so sorry. If somebody sent us stuff and it got sent back, we're really sorry. We did not mean for that to happen. Anyway, so this letter came in and we read it and we were totally blown away. I'm going to read it to you guys. And hey, there's an image there, Derek? Okay, thanks. Dear Ben and Rob, thank you so much for doing what you do. I feel bad writing this to you anonymously, but I work in the entertainment industry and I don't feel that it would be safe to show my support openly. Not yet. I've been following your channel since the beginning and I recommend it to many of my friends in the industry. I just want you to know that there are many of us in the entertainment industry who watch your channel and who deeply appreciate your work, including actors who starred in Oscar-winning movies and musicians who sold gold records. You two are amazing, and we include you in our prayers. Keep doing what you do, and thank you for giving a voice to people like us who don't dare to publicly say what we really think. Not yet. Best wishes, a secret admirer. P.S. Since I'm too chicken to sign with my real name, you may share this letter on your show if you feel like it. We felt like it. P.P.S. I love your new intro.
Yeah,
which has the DeLorean in it. Thank you.
So, and there was actually somebody else who contacted us recently who he asked us not to say his name. He gave us his name to us, but he was he was a finalist for the American Idol show
in Canada, right?
Yeah. And he was telling us he's just thanking us so much for what we do, and he saw firsthand a lot of stuff that happened related to American Idol.
Yeah, when he wasn't willing to do whatever they wanted, they were like testing to see if he would do whatever they wanted, and when he wouldn't, they just basically found a way to get him voted out. They have different ways to do that with the panelists and stuff. So
yeah,
very crazy.
Very sad story, but anyway, I don't want to give too much away, but he was really excited. We wrote him back and he was just like, yeah, I really want to give you guys more info, so we'll get more info on this. There's some things that he dropped that I was shocked, like the company that's behind the American Idol has the word Mason in it and stuff. It's just some really interesting stuff. So we'll get more into that later.
You can do digs on that too, and we started to do a little, and it got scary actually. The different people who are, them. We're not going to mention names.
We won't mention any names, but yes. And there's been a couple other people that contacted us about this, so it's pretty cool. So, but kind of moving on from this, we got a donation from Jennifer in Maine, and thank you so much.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
Jennifer, thank you.
We're gonna take the team out for a big dinner for everybody.
Mini golf, most likely.
Or mini golf. I'm thinking of that Joker movie.
There was a joke about mini golf in the Joker movie.
Oh my God, I laughed so
Yeah.
hard at that part.
Actually, it was funny
It's
because
kinda-
the
it's
theater
kinda-
was really quiet even when they told that joke, and it was just Ben
Dude,
laughing really hard.
I laugh at funny things. Like I kind of.
One of our fans got married.
One of
what?
our fans got married.
Mythical.
Hey, Mythical! Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Good news. She said yes. All right, you're going to Vegas. Great.
Yeah,
That's
hey,
awesome.
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas,
Yeah,
unless
really.
you want to share it on our chat.
Then
Can
it's-
do that. Hopefully, if you guys wait, you're going to Vegas or you got married in Vegas? Because if you got married in
No,
Vegas,
no. They're going to Vegas. They're
okay,
going
yeah,
to
the
Vegas.
Elvis outfit would be
Oh,
a
hey.
necessity.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty funny.
That's
so,
awesome.
Okay, so then we got a really cool Celtic kind of card from an amazing and funny message with from Alec and Catherine in South Wales in the UK.
Oh, thank you.
So she said something really
remember
funny.
seeing
Yeah,
that,
she
yeah.
said if the ascension fails, wait, if the ascension fails you, you could always make it as a comedic duo.
That's actually in the card she sent us. It was a really sweet card.
I was
I
like,
laughed so hard
I
when I
don't
read
think
that.
we're that funny.
Yeah, we're definitely not.
But anyway, and
We're definitely not that funny, especially when there's audio issues.
Oh yeah, and there was a couple other people that sent us the Metatron.
Oh yeah, and also
He
wait,
sent us
sorry.
some
So
stickers.
actually, in regards to the audio issues last week, sorry, they switched to a different way of audio, and it just confused us. And some people didn't get to hear the audio, some did, but we didn't know what was going on, whether it was
Yeah.
trolls or not or whatever. And we're really sorry if we called someone a troll and they weren't. I mean, there was a legitimate audio issue on our part.
It was really,
So-
it was just a really stressful live last time, and we know that you guys were having a hard time with it too.
Yeah, sorry.
And everything that was going on. And
So we've decided to we're gonna buy all of our own audio stuff over the next couple of weeks and make sure all of that is totally bulletproof moving forward.
Yeah, so-
this week you might have an issue, hopefully not, maybe next week too, but very soon we're gonna buy all of that stuff and make sure that that's not an issue for anyone anymore.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
You got lucky today, no audio issues.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
audio
no
issues
audio
today.
issues
We
today. I'm
actually-
surprised,
We ended up having someone come several hours early to test it over and over again, and we think everything is good this time. So.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
All right, so
So we should go to Katie. Let's go to Katie Hill.
oh yeah, dude, let's go on to that. Oh my gosh.
So
What a cluster, whatever.
yeah, that is definitely a cluster, whatever.
I don't want to show the photos.
Derek's
No.
like, I don't want to show the
No,
photos.
well,
Everything's
this is important. So you guys, if you
everything's
have
blacked out.
yeah,
That's like-
everything's blacked out. If you have kids, just be aware of that right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
have
mean,
to
it's on the website. It's
Yeah.
not like we're showing these photos.
So there was a tweet that posted, and it was a Daily Mail. It was a Daily Mail article.
she's suing Daily Mail. It's like, how can you really?
Yeah, how can you sue
sue
Daily
over
Mail
this?
for? I mean, really, they're just showing what's
It's like,
out there.
yeah. So if you guys don't know, she is a congresswoman, a
She's
Democratic.
a U.S. representative from California.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
So this is the name of the article on Daily Mail. Shocking photos of Congresswoman Katie Hill are revealed showing off Nazi-era tattoo while smoking a bong, kissing her female staffer, and posing nude on wife-sharing sites. That is the headline, folks. I told you the whole story, but
hey, that's basically the story. And she literally has these naked photos of herself smoking a bong with this Nazi tattoo.
right around here, right?
Yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
Down there.
Somebody said it was on her vajayjay.
Her vajayjay.
I thought my dad only used that term.
Close enough.
Okay, so let's read the bullet points from Daily Mail because they do a good job. This is the Daily Mail bullet points. Katie Hill, 32, has been seen on a series of shocking photographs obtained exclusively by DailyMail.com. Hill was
Derek, you
pictured.
can show these.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid the photos.
Okay, yeah. Hill was pictured kissing and brushing her young female staffer's hair, who DailyMail.com can identify as Morgan Desjardins from Santa Clarita, California. The then 22-year-old began a thruple relationship with Hill and her husband. I've never heard that word before. Kenny Haslop, shortly before she started working for the Hill in 2017, or for Hill in 2017. Texts and photos between Hill, Haslop, and Desjardins reveal their thruple was steamy at first, but then ended with Hill leaving them high and dry. The Congresswoman also is seen posing naked while smoking a bong on 9/11 in 2017 as a tattoo of her Nazi-era Iron Cross on her bikini line is on full display. Okay, wait. The tattoo could open the Congresswoman to accusations of hypocrisy after she criticized racist Facebook posts that included a similar-looking cross. Sources revealed Hill and Haslop, who also posted Hill's naked photos online in 2016 under a thread called "Would You F My Wife?" and "Wife Sharing." Now, I just want you to understand, there's a lot of people out there trying to defend her and these actions, saying, oh, she's had a traumatic experience with her husband and all of that stuff. I want everyone here just to take a step back for a second and think, if there was a male U.S. representative or Trump or anyone like that, if this happened, what would happen? It would be nuts.
Well, the thing is,
dude, nuts. If she wasn't a Dem,
totally.
really, like, why are they having understanding for this? It's a Nazi-era tattoo.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this would be no big deal if she, well, whatever. She was like in her entertainment industry or whatever, but she's like a congresswoman. Like, you don't expect this from Congress people.
Wife sharing stuff like a congressperson, you know?
Yeah, it's
it's crazy.
It's so crazy. I mean, that's the thing that just gets me out of all of this stuff. It's like, seriously, dude, if you're gonna do this, like, you know, wouldn't you think? I mean,
yeah, like, you're a representative. Would you not think what you were doing before you were doing all of that? Posting on, like, oh, we're free, I can do this. Like, I'm sorry, is there's nothing normal about that. Like, that's not something people do.
Absolutely nothing normal about that.
Yeah, and then, you know, people can go through traumatic things for sure, but, like, don't, you know, like, let's be honest here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if you've gone through something traumatic, but I hope pointing this out makes you think, just, you know, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you know? Just an excuse. Everyone's gone through traumatic stuff, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe she's gone through, like, you know, really intense stuff, but that doesn't explain a Nazi tattoo, and that doesn't explain.
Yeah, did your constituents, like, vote for that?
Would they have voted for you if they had known that you had that?
So really, the question is this: are you a deep skank or are you not? Don't be a deep skank. We're not calling you one, but don't be one. There's some out there that are.
Yeah, I guess that's California for you.
No, I wasn't gonna say it this time, but okay.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, all right, anyway, I'm just gonna I'm gonna let you guys look into this one yourselves, but there was a comedian this week who railed on Harvey Weinstein. Her name is, what is it, Kelly? It's Kelly?
I actually didn't see this one. So
Kelly Bachman. Okay, yeah. So Harvey Weinstein shows up in the audience while she's giving, you know, stand-up, where she's doing stand-up, and she just rails on him, and everyone was like, totally. I mean, people were sending her flowers after this and everything for getting him. Whether you're on the right or the left, you're basically like, this chick was great. Like, you don't know where she stands on a lot of stuff, but it was kind of funny that happened. And, you know, a lot of people actually, I started talking to people about this, and some people think that this was one of those public shaming things that's really important to the deeps. Like, their kind of rituals and stuff like that. They have to public shame people sometimes. Yeah. And some people think that this was set up and it was done specifically for that. I mean, you have to look into this and judge for yourselves. It's hard to say that, but wow, crazy, right? And you probably should check that out. Hey, so have you been following this whole Hillary Clinton Tulsi Gabbard saga?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So And did you hear about Hillary's latest excuse for why she lost the 2016?
Actually, I didn't hear this
You
because
didn't?
I was working on some other stuff. So I didn't
Okay,
hear
so
this.
so basically Hillary's latest excuse for losing was these flashing videos on the dark web of her doing crazy
yeah,
stuff.
No, I did hear about this. Yeah.
Okay,
the,
so-
the deep fake
Yeah,
videos.
thank you. The Daily Caller wrote an article about this, and it's called Hillary's Latest Excuse for Losing Flashing Videos on the Dark Web. I'm going to read a quote from this. I think it's going to be the same as 2016, Clinton said. I'm going to show you in these flashing videos that appear and then disappear, and they're on the dark web and nobody can find them. But you're going to see them, and you're going to see that person doing horrible things, unquote. So she's like getting ahead of these things posting and then it being about her, and she's trying to say, if you see that, I'm calling it now, if you see it, that's not true, kind of thing. But like, okay, first of all, this comes down to what we've been talking about all this time. If you think Q people are crazy people, if you think conspiracy theorists are crazy, why are you even talking about what they're saying? Why do you care unless there's a shred of truth to it?
Yeah. Well, Obama has been pushing this
It's a
whole
question to
narrative.
ask, right?
Yeah, and like
I'm not blaming anyone for anything.
The
but-
deep fake term was created by the deep stank for all this. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, this is interesting, you know, because I didn't even think about if she runs. This might be why they have not published this video yet. They could be waiting.
Oh, yeah, man.
To see if I didn't even think.
That's a
about
smart
that.
idea, yeah.
Wow. So if you know, and then it's like, yeah. So and then it doesn't matter if it's true or not true. It's just kind of it's up to the people to decide at this point. Mm-hmm. It really comes down to it. And I think if they released it too soon, nothing would have been done. They're not trying, you know. But now it's like if she's trying to run, it's like, oh, we'll just release this video now, and then it's like up to the people to decide.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. She'll never get reelected anyway.
So it was interesting. I'm not sure if you got to see it, but I watched the Kate Awakenings live on, I think it was Wednesday this week.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a kind of a little expose on Tulsi Gabbard and how she's like, you know, dude, there are photos of Tulsi Gabbard making that sign, that triangular
do it,
sign,
yeah.
the satanic sign in front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and you know, she says, "Oh, this is an island sign," as if it's coming from Hawaii, where she's from. I'm sorry, you must know.
We should ask Sky.
Yeah.
Is this an?
I mean, really. So
Is that a Hawaii
even
thing?
even
I
if
never
it
heard
is,
of it.
even if it is, you should know better than to do that sign in front of the Capitol and what it's going to mean, right? Like, why are you doing that? Like, be smarter than that. But anyway, Hillary and her have been kind of butting heads. All right, so Hillary has basically come out, and there was like a Fox News article. Hillary Clinton floats conspiracy that Tulsi Gabbard is being groomed by the Russians. So anytime anyone's doing anything that Hillary doesn't like, apparently the Russians are behind it.
It's always the
Yeah.
Russians.
And anyway, I do think that Tulsi, I don't think is a threat to anyone. Like in terms of like the presidential campaign, right? Like I don't think there's a high percentage of people that are behind her or anything. She told Hillary to fess up for all of her like issues,
Right.
You know. But basically, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people in our community are being fooled by Tulsi. This is just my opinion, but they think that she says some good things sometimes, but if you really start doing a dig on her, and you may find that she's involved in more things than you're aware of, and you should probably check out that live that Kate did. She kind of goes over some of that stuff. Yeah. Oh, dude, you gotta check out this next one. What did you say, Derek?
One of our fans said that Tulsi's connected to CFR.
Oh yeah, she's on the what is it again? The Council for Foreign Relations. That's right. That's one of the things that
Interesting.
that I was looking at this week.
Yeah. So, yeah. So True Pundit or Gateway. I'm sorry, not True Pundit. Gateway Pundit had this article.
It gets confusing. There's True Pundit. There's the Gateway Pundit.
And there's
Yeah.
other pundits. It's revealed that a company that supplied voting machines to 22 states donated to the Clinton Foundation.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this and be like, well, they're just, but it's like, if
No.
This is very serious thing.
This is very serious. Should should the company that's supplying the voting machines really be getting involved in donating?
Yeah, it's either party. They shouldn't be donating to anybody.
It's sort of like a referee in football being like, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, I'm on their payroll, but I'm going to officiate the Dallas Cowboys versus Miami Dolphins game.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it.
Would that be okay?
So they even bragged on their homepage that together with our customers, we strive to change elections for the better. I mean, it says that on their homepage. Like, what the heck?
I mean, that is a vague slogan, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can understand that being your mission, but
Yeah.
then in the context of what we're talking about right now, that means something completely different.
Yeah. So this was on Micro Spooky Lens Twitter thing. My friends and I are wondering why a company that supplies 50% of voting machines to America donates to the Clinton Foundation. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, this should be illegal completely.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can say about
Like, it's
it.
beyond illegal.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be neutral if you're doing stuff like that. Like,
this is
22. Was it 22 states? It was
22
like
states.
22 states. That's
Yeah.
a lot of states. They provided
and
all of that.
Clinton still lost.
And she still lost. And then, okay, there's no proof of anything here, right? This is just the fact.
Well, no. The proof is that they did donate.
The fact
That
is they donated
Yeah.
and they provided 22 states. We don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're speculating there.
Right.
All we can say is that, but how can you have a quote, together with our customers, we strive to change elections for the better? I mean, you're right. It's kind of vague,
No,
right?
that is
But
a
it's like,
telltale vague slogan.
yeah.
But in the context of what we're talking about, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, okay. It's just change. It's the word change elections. Those two words.
Yeah, change.
If you're
Change
if you're,
elections for the
yeah,
better?
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
like how
no.
about like support elections for the better,
But honestly,
ensure proper elections.
But if you really
or-
think about this, right, and if you're like the marketing team and we're coming up with our slogan, I mean, right away we would be thinking, well, if we put change elections, people are going to
think we're screwing with
yes,
them. Right.
right. So why would you use that wording on purpose?
Unless you were funding the Clinton Foundation.
This has been a crazy lie.
This is, and we're like halfway through. Okay, so you want to talk about scrotum waxing yet?
Derek's like, what did you just say? I told you this is a
Okay,
crazy
so
lie.
if you've got kids watching again, you might need to. No, don't worry. There's no pictures in this one, bro. This is just important to talk about. Okay, so this guy apparently, and I'd probably get in trouble for calling him a guy.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, but look, he has
We can
nuts.
go into the next.
Sorry.
She's got.
It's got male genitalia.
This is nuts.
Okay. So, quote, this is from the Zero Hedge article, which is called Transgender Activist Who Tried to Force Beauticians to Wax Male Genitalia Loses Case. Okay, quote, Yaniv filed complaints with the British Columbia Human Rights Tribunal against the female aestheticians for their refusal to wax his balls. This is in the article, all right? I'm sorry. He subsequently, this is still from the article, he subsequently bragged about getting a cosmetic store shut down after it refused to provide the same service. However, a Canadian official has ruled against Yaniv, saying women have the right to refuse to wax male genitalia.
I mean, that.
Okay, quote.
Imagine this is the other way around.
If
a guy goes in there and then complains
no.
that a girl, an actual guy.
That wasn't.
I mean,
No, he had male.
whatever.
Okay.
But I mean, a guy, like a dude walking
you
in.
mean you walking in
right?
there.
And then
right.
and then like complaining that these girls want. I mean, you think anyone would give you the time of day and
I
listen
know.
to you?
Wait, I'm not done yet. Okay, quote, human rights legislation does not require service provider to wax a type of genitalia they are not trained for and have not consented to wax. Of course. It's your right to say, I don't want to wax balls. Okay. There are differences between waxing the genitalia of a person with a vulva and a person with a penis and a scrotum, said the deciding official in the quasi-judicial British Columbia Human Rights Tribunal. Okay, now this is important. This is the last paragraph in this article. As we previously reported, Yaniv, who has been accused of being a sexual predator, previously tried to arrange a swimming session for girls as young as 12, where parents would not be allowed to be present.
That's insane.
What the heck?
So the interesting thing is that there's actually this transgender YouTuber who's like a conservative transgender YouTuber named Blair White.
Okay, the cyclist or?
No.
This is a
She's
different
not.
one?
This is a different one. She's this transgender person who she's really open about
Oh,
all
yeah.
of this stuff. She interviewed, or I don't know what you want to say, she or he, but anyway, she interviewed this person, and actually after the interview, the police came to arrest her because she had like some illegal stuff in her home that she wasn't allowed to have in Canada, and they like got in this
Well,
huge
what was it?
argument.
What
It
was-
was like a weapon of something that she wasn't allowed to have that she had.
I could make a
or
lot
he
of funny
had.
jokes right
He
now that
had.
are not appropriate for this live, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna.
But
I'm
anyway,
not
it
gonna
was,
do
it
that.
was kind of because and that's like this whole thing. So I listened a little bit because I was kind of curious and basically like because it's really interesting and this
You
Blair
can take
White,
that article down now, Derek.
yeah,
Thanks.
please, yeah, don't leave it up. But they were, but this Blair White really was like hitting on this person hard, and then at the end of it, she was basically calling.
All right, wait, I gotta
this
give a shout
person-
out to Fly Me here,
Yeah.
who asked, "Did anyone get sacked?" But bumped.
That's
Good
hilarious.
one.
So coming into our more next transgender story here, cyclist Rachel McMinnon dominates as competitors cry foul in cycling.
Why are you allowing a man to cycle?
So
and-
this transgender person keeps this is in the
Dude,
article
they
keeps
did-
dominating women's cycling.
Dude,
It's like,
and they're doing this in the UFC now too.
yeah,
They're allowing
yeah.
men to
well,
fight
and they, like,
women.
and that
That's so
the
bad.
transgender person like broke the skull of that chick
Yes.
because he punched her so hard. So this is in the article. So there's this woman named Victoria Hood who is a cycling champion, and this is what she says. It's not that complicated. The science is there, and it says that it is unfair. The male body, which has been through male puberty still retains its advantage. That doesn't go away. I have sympathy with them. They have the right to do sport, but not right to go into any category they want. And the problem is that the media only focuses on the transgender people that fits
their narrative, their agenda.
Yeah. So, like, for example, the reason why I started kind of getting into this, curious about like this Blair White person, is because I'm like, why isn't the media talking?
Reporting on her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
It.
don't know. Her, him.
Sorry,
her.
guys.
I guess I'll just
Yeah.
say her. I guess I don't know. But I mean, she's very open. Whatever. She's very open about this, and that's why I feel like it's important to bring her up because we're not against transgender people. It's not that we're trying to come out and criticize. It's just that this is totally
It's literally
unfair.
beside the point.
Yeah.
It's like you have a woman getting her skull crashed in from a male guy who wants to fight in the women's
Because he
UFC.
thinks he's a
because
woman.
he come on.
I mean, and
That's
that's
just not right. Like if
yeah.
all these women out there who, we should. That's not right. There's nothing right about that. There's
Yeah.
nothing that feels good about that.
yeah. I mean, this is and yeah, this Blair White person, she was like saying the same things. Like, I'm not. It's like they understand, and I think the transgender people, because there's transgender people that even watch us, the people who understand all of this, who are about the truth, they know what's going on, and they also know that they are being used, just like every other minority group and racial group, by the left to fit their agenda. And as soon as they don't, like Brandon, Brandon Straka, it's like who started the walk away movement.
Yeah.
As soon as that doesn't fit the narrative, he's shunned out. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
know.
we will not, no mainstream media will ever talk about, or like, except for like Epic Times.
UFC does not allow trans.
Well, they did though for that one event.
Th-
It
that-
was
they
a mixed
definitely did.
martial arts. If
It
I
was
made a
mi-
mistake on who it was, I apologize.
Maybe it
but
wasn't
it was
UFC,
mixed,
but I
it was
thought
a
it was
mixed martial
UFC.
arts group. I thought it was.
We could look it up.
We'll look it up
definitely.
later. But
Yeah.
anyway, hey, we have to show a promo now, right? Did the Epstein one or what? Pilates. Oh wait, did we show the Epstein one yet? Okay, good. I'm pulling it up, you guys.
It started with 5 missing children in 2016. Now, 3 years later, we follow the trails of missing hunters. This Halloween, we bring you something truly special. Haunting true stories of the unexplainable, based on the book which documents 185 cases of missing people from 4 countries. The information from this former police detective, now turned investigator and author, will certainly blow your mind.
I appreciate the opportunity to present this as a standalone topic because I really think people need to understand how complex this is and how there are no hardcore answers.
So get ready, because the one and only David Paulides is coming to Edge of Wonder.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's my honor that you asked me to be on.
We're on? Okay, so
Boom.
It was a Thai boxing thing. It wasn't UFC.
Yeah. Hey, we hope you guys liked that
Yeah.
promo, because this interview we had with David Paulides is going to knock your socks off.
It was awesome.
It was
an awesome
great.
interview. So excited for it. Definitely check out Missing 411. Get his books not on Amazon. He actually specifically said, I don't think he gets much royalties if you buy it.
Yeah, go to his website.
Go to his website, missing411.com. And,
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch
yeah.
that before that video publishes. So you can go to missing411.com and get his documentary there and watch it there.
It's awesome.
It will knock your socks off. It's one of the best documentaries I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it
aside
definitely
from
is great.
Letter from Mazenja, which is also awesome.
Yeah, the letters from Austin Jaw. Yeah, that was awesome too. All right, we're kind of
Well,
wrapping
no,
up here, but
we're not.
We're not.
Well,
Okay.
we've got a lot of occult stuff to go through that dropped.
So before we do that, let's go into the Scientology thing.
Oh yeah, do that first.
So Miscavige. So this guy, the leader of Scientology, David Miscavige, served in a child trafficking and kidnapping lawsuit. So basically, he's finally been served in the scattering child trafficking and kidnapping lawsuit filed by an ex-member, Valerie Henney. And this is radaronline.com revealed. So in court papers obtained by the LA Supreme Court, he was 59 years old. He served on October 10th, 2019 at Church of Scientology International, Los Angeles, California. So this is big. I mean, this is what everybody has been talking about related to Scientology. And actually, there's very close ties with Scientology and NXIVM, and not completely direct. And we've been researching this lately, so I don't want to get into too much of the details at the moment. But basically, this is one of those. I mean, literally, we've been talking about how Epstein has just been the domino that's going to knock down all of this stuff, and it really has been. And
Totally.
it's going to be.
Yeah, you guys are going to want to check out that Epstein pizza fence video that drops on edgeofwonder.tv. It was awesome. I mean, just so much in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to cartels, witchcraft, tunnels, and rocket launchers.
Oh my.
Yes. So Breitbart published an article called Cartel Drug Lab with Rocket Launchers, Witchcraft Altars Found in Mexico City. Okay, quote from the article, during the raid, authorities found various shrines used for witchcraft rituals where human remains were apparently used as offerings or ornaments. A large-scale raid carried out by local and military forces in Mexico City uncovered a series of tunnels and stash houses where cartel members handled drugs, weapons, and performed witchcraft rituals.
So there's a book, and I can't remember who wrote the book, and but it's specifically about MS-13 gang, and it's called I can't remember the name now in Spanish, what the MS stands for, but that's I think that's the title of the book is actually.
Yeah, I knew it one time. We did an episode with them in it.
Yeah, we did. It's been a while now.
Yeah.
That's why I can't remember the name of the book at the top of my head. But anyway, it goes specifically in detail about the MS-13 gang and why it's been hard for law enforcement to figure it out, because they are directly a devil, Satan worshiping Baphomet group. That the reason why the police can't figure out the killings is because these are just like.
Yeah, Kate just said it. It's the Marasal.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. So, yeah. In this book, it was written by, I think, a former Navy SEAL guy, who had all this information about the MS-13 gang, and basically his conclusion is that they are Satan worshipers, like really hardcore devil worshiping Satan worshipers that are, and in order to become in the group, you actually have to kill somebody.
Not only that, and if you're a woman, you have to get raped something like 5 times.
15 or like something like that.
You get gang rapes.
You get gang
That's
rapes,
your initiation. Is
That's
like
the
it's the
initiation.
most terrible ways of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not human.
So their whole thing is sacrifice. Like every time they kill someone, it's a sacrifice to, like, you know, Moloch, Satan, Lucifer, all this stuff. So finding this about the witchcraft tunnels and everything else actually now goes along with.
But
you can tie this
and
together.
I wanna bring something up that a lot of people haven't really thought about, and it's so far away from us because it's in Mexico. You know, there are borders here and stuff like that. But, you know, we have a bunch of really great Mexican folks who are, like, actually very spiritual people. And then you have these cartels who have used that, and they've made all of these very strange cults all related to this kind of stuff. And you'll see them all around Mexico when you go. Mm-hmm. Like, you can, if you start digging into this, it gets deep quick. Like, you can look. And it'll be like the Mary Virgin, but it's a skeleton, and it's there are like these altars to these things, these demons, whatever they are. And this is how the occult part of the deep state has infiltrated Mexico, and it has everything to do with the drug stuff, like the cartel and the drug stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean,
drugs, human trafficking, sacrificing humans, basically anything, selling guns, like all of this stuff, right? And the sad thing is, it's not, when you really start, you know, is like Q always says, follow the money. And when you really start following the money and following these trails and seeing what's connected to, you know, I mean, there are people within the government telling us that, you know, the CIA is involved with the MS-13 gangs. And, you know, of course, coming to like Seth Rich, many people believe that, you know, obviously he was killed by a gang member, and a lot of people think that the MS-13 gang has become the hit team, like the hitman for the hired hitman for the deep stink.
So there are two, when I started doing research on this, there are 2 gangs that are the biggest in the U.S. There's MS-13 is probably one of the biggest now, but another one that a lot of people don't really look into or research is actually the triads, the Chinese triads. Yeah, they're huge, and
big,
you don't even know about it. And they run stuff. It's like...
Well, the difference with the triads is that, well, like the MS-13 gang is just ruthless, killing everybody. The triads got smart, and they're like, oh, well, instead of just killing everybody, let's just take over everything more on the inside. And it's a lot. It's almost more.
We have some friends who are reporters who have done a bunch of work exposing, you know, stuff in this city. You know, like with triads.
Well, in New York, it's very serious because, you know, you have so many Chinatowns here in New York, right?
Yeah, you have Flushing, you have Chinatown. I mean, there's
Chinatown, Manhattan.
Yeah, and then
So they've been threatening Little Italy, some of the shops and some of the restaurants in Little Italy, forcing people there to.
It's extortion.
Yeah, complete extortion, and.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up?
Soon, yeah, we got a couple more, and we will.
Someone requested to end on a high note, so I think we should end on the.
Yeah, that sounds good.
On what?
Why don't?
Templar one? Is that
Oh, yeah, no, we're gonna do. So, you guys, this is really funny. I'm not sure if you guys follow the Babylon Bee, but you should if you don't.
Actually, you can talk. We will talk about this first, then we'll go into the other.
It's like the onion for like
Red
you know, woke people. I mean, think about it. It's called the Babylon Bee,
yeah.
right? So like they know about all this occult stuff, and they literally just make fun of it all the time.
It's so funny.
So this article came out. Moloch announces forcing your kids to become transgender is acceptable force of sacrifice. All right, so quote, Washington, D.C., the ancient god Moloch has announced that in lieu of the actual blood sacrifice of your children, you can now simply force your kids to become transgender as an alternative. Quote, honestly, okay, this is a quote from Moloch. Quote, honestly, I still prefer killing your kids in ritual sacrifice or aborting them, he said in a press conference. I guess I'm old-fashioned like that, but coercing your kids into undergoing harmful surgery and hormone treatments works just as well, I suppose. As long as you're sacrificing your kids to the future progressive humanistic agenda, it doesn't matter one way or another. Moloch said that parents who encourage their young who haven't hit puberty yet or started thinking about sexuality at all think about changing genders will be under the protection and favor of his evilness. Quote, I am appeased by such sacrifice. A child's life is ruined so that a parent may appear woke in the eyes of her friends. Truly a diabolical ritual that I wholly approve of, unquote. Thank you, Moloch. Yeah, so...
It's so funny. The Babylon Bee is hilarious. So I would like to go into the other one that we found because it is so hilarious. And this kind of this is like, this is funny stuff, even though it's like serious, but at least this is like kind of funny. So Derek, I just posted a link below it.
Derek, did we do Epstein or just the celebrity deaths?
We did Epstein.
We did? Okay.
Yeah. So there's another one they had. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
that was going around. Man identifies as 6-year-old crushes game-winning homer in T-ball championship.
Did you give Derek that to pull up?
Absolutely crushed a game-winning homer. and then the funny thing is his team, the little Padres, attempted to hoist him on their shoulders in celebration of their great victory, but were unable to pick up the large 230-pound man. It's just
that's hilarious.
It's just so funny. They just do a really good job of kind of making fun of all this stuff. But
okay, we're gonna go over
really funny.
We're gonna go over a couple more, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up soon. So actually. Derek asked that we go out on a more positive note. It's not that positive, but we'll talk about Chrissy.
That's not positive.
No. We're gonna do Knights Templar last.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about Chrissy Teigen first.
What time is it? Whoa.
Yeah. So anyway, so apparently Chrissy Teigen would eat human flesh. This isn't us saying that. This is her saying that.
That was weird.
Okay. There is a perthnow.com.au article. And basically,
I saw a really funny comment.
But Teigen says that, okay, now this is, you have to understand, she's talking to David Chang, I think, or whatever his name is, the guy, the restaurateur who opens up like Momofuku and stuff like that. Okay. But this is in the article, but Teigen says that unlike him, she has guts of steel and would eat anything placed in front of her, including part of a human. Quote, there is actually nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try, she said. Quote, if the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat, you wouldn't try a tiny bite? She asked him. And Chang told her, no, absolutely not. I mean, okay, so to review, Chrissy has been very active on Twitter, hating on Q people because they've been pointing out different things that they think she's, in league with.
And she's like refuting this saying, like, blah, blah, blah. But then she comes out with saying, I would eat people.
Okay, right. So this is kind of the point, right? Like she and her husband, we're not saying this, but she's been accused of being, involved with Epstein. She's also been accused of being at spirit cooking events.
Yeah.
Okay, right? And we're not basically accusing Chrissy or John Legend of any of this, but kind of like, if you're a smart person, why would you publicly say something about eating human flesh like that and not expect a huge backlash from...
I don't even. I didn't even. When I read this, I actually thought it was
A joke.
I thought it was a joke.
Exactly.
I thought it was.
And it's not.
So I didn't actually take it seriously until I started looking at the source, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a legitimate source. Like, she actually said this.
Yeah. It was like a Netflix show or some crap. I don't even know what it was.
That is insane.
I might be wrong on that. I think it
That
was.
is just.
Anyway, so she
Yeah.
like basically if you don't like Q followers, stop responding to the stuff that they're saying. But it's like she's constantly on there talking about them. It's just kind of strange. Like, anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about
crazy. So I saw a comment said that someone identifies as an Apache helicopter.
that. To the chopper. For real though. Okay, so.
Anyway.
One of the last articles we have is lost Knights Templar facilities found in Israel. Did you guys hear about this? This is awesome.
I did. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so the sun.co.uk had a article. I'm going to read some of this because it's easier. It's from the article. And I think the Knights Templar HQ Treasure Tunnels Israel, I think. What's the name of the headline?
Lost Knights Templar facilities found in Israel.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so archaeologists have found evidence of lost set of tunnels used by the infamous warrior monks 800 years ago to shift vast amounts of gold to their famous treasure tower. The project's an ancient coastal city of Acre also found the first remnants of the group's lavish fortress headquarters. A team of archaeologists led by American explorer Dr. Albert Lynn unveiled the stunning find as part of a new National Geographic documentary. Quote, I'm in Israel in search of the Knights Templar. These warrior monks are the stuff of legend, and so is their gold, Dr. Lynn said during the program's broadcast on Sunday. Quote, during the Crusades, the Knights Templar battle for God and glory, for God, gold, and glory. Somewhere in the modern city of Acre lies their command center and possibly their treasure, because everyone's still looking for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the stuff of childhood dreams. I'm here to find them, said Dr. Lynn. So what's interesting about this, and you can't, now that we know what we know, you're talking about these as if they're warrior monks of old, and they were at one point, but when they came back from fighting the Crusades, they very much turned into a secret society that devolved into a Luciferian ritualistic culture that then ended up joining the French Freemasons.
Yeah, well, and then that's exactly where Baphomet actually came from, is the Knights of the Templars.
So I mean, there's the reason why they got extinguished, why the king of the time extinguished them, is because they were doing Luciferian stuff.
Yeah, King Felipe.
Yeah, King Philip.
Philip?
Yeah, I think.
Philip. No, I say Felipe.
And then that is where the infamous Friday the 13th came from, right? They were killed on Friday the 13th, and now that basically is where all of that came from. Mm-hmm. And sacrifice to some extent. There's a sacrifice going on, and now Disney has his old Templar stuff and Jacques Dumoulin stuff and whatever. Yeah, in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So man, what a crazy live this week, you guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff.
We didn't even cover everything. 43 priests sexually abused at least 166 children in Colorado over the past 70 years, investigation shows. The DC Patriots did that.
Protests everywhere.
So
like all these countries. Oh man, we haven't even really.
There's
touched on
protests
Hong Kong
going on
either.
right now in about 20 different countries.
Yeah.
Iraq, Haiti, Chile, Barcelona, Ecuador, Guinea, Scotland, Egypt, Peru, Algeria, Lebanon, Catalonia, Indonesia, Azerbaijan, France, Bolivia, and of course Hong Kong, and more.
Yeah, in Hong Kong, like a lot of stuff going on there. Man, that could be like a whole conversation in itself. But there's been some positive things that are happening there, so we'll keep checking on it. I mean, one of the main problems with it is that China just works in bribes, and the whole thing is confusing, and the whole thing, not confusing, but complicated. But
Hey, so
yeah,
Lizzie
anyway.
Meets, I'm not sure if that's how you say her name, Meetus. She gave us a donation. Thank you very much. It's ticked over to my birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And way past my bedtime, but so we're staying up late. Keep up the awesome work, you
Go to
guys.
bed,
Lizzie.
And Donkey Face
Yes.
donated, so thank you.
And Lizzie, the world is a better place having you in it. Thank you so much, and happy birthday.
Yep.
And of course, C-Face, thanks so much for everything, man.
Yeah, donkey face.
Well, all right, you guys. I think you're tired of looking at Ben's hat now.
It was
so,
a holy
just
crap
kidding.
good show.
Yeah.
Someone said that.
This was
Crystal Fulford.
This was nuts.
This show is, there's a lot of stuff on this thing. Yeah, and
I'm waiting for the comment where they're like, "No, Rob, we're just tired of looking at your face," which is totally true. All right, you guys.
yeah, oh yeah, and we'll be in Australia for
Australia in the middle of January.
January for
Disclosure Down Under.
So that's
Peter
the
Maxwell
next thing.
Slattery. We're gonna have
James Gillen.
James
is gonna
Gillen
be
down there. Jordan.
Jordan Sather. What's his name? We interviewed him.
Oh, Barry.
Barry
Yeah. Barry Littleton.
Littleton.
Yeah,
That's
Barry's
it.
awesome.
So we're gonna do that in January, and we're tired of looking at your face, Rob. There you go, you got it.
Thank you. I agree. And I'm
But
going
then someone
to...
said beautiful face, so there you go.
Thanks. They were talking about you, obviously. Ben.
Uh,
Well, you guys, hey,
Go swim with
thanks so
sharks.
much for hanging out with us. And if you haven't yet signed up for EdgeOfWonder.tv, it is the thing that's keeping us going now because YouTube is censoring us. So all of you that are supporting us there, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And we hope you like the content there because we're working really hard on it to give you guys a reason to help us out. And yeah. Yep, they upload every Thursday, so you can be on the lookout every Thursday for content on EdgeOfWonder.tv. And hey, we love you guys so much, and thank you guys for being on this insane journey with us.
Yeah, seriously, guys, it really has been a crazy, very
Wow.
interesting, mind-blowing experience from.
Yeah, and we're all
start
in
to
together.
this. Yeah.
On the same boat. All right, you guys.
Yep.
Well, I guess until next time.
Hey guys, so we'll see you out.
On the edge of the bathroom I'm about to go to because
Yeah.
I have to pee really bad.
Yeah, I do too. So.
Thank you, Wonder fans, for being wide awake and the greatest part of another WonderCast Live. And for those of you who want to go deeper still, be sure to subscribe to EdgeOfWonder.tv. Share, like, subscribe, and keep watch for the next notification so you don't miss a single WonderCast Live. With Edge of Wonder's Ben and Rob live from New York. On behalf of Ben, Rob, and the entire Edge of Wonder staff and crew, this is another Radio Face reminder that we'll see you out on the edge.